Normal depth line is higher than critical depth line for mild slope, in which your bed slope is positive. Is it okay? Now coming to the second one. Second one is steep slope. In the steep slope, what is the condition? That reverse critical depth line should be greater than normal depth line. So you can see this is going to be where critical depth line is higher and normal depth line is lower. So YC is higher, Y0 is lower, and there are three regions. Region 1 is above NDL, region 2 is in between normal depth line and critical depth line, region 3 is between bed of the channel up to the critical depth line. So there are three regions in which the water can be. So the water level can be in three regions, either region 1, region 2, region 3. So I can classify category into M1, M2, M3. Mild slope 1, mild slope 2 second region, mild slope in third region. So if my water level is in region 1, which is above normal depth line, but two conditions here. One is NDL should be greater than CDL. Second condition is your water surface is in the region of 1, then it is a M1 channel. Then M2 channel is same, NDL should be greater than CDL, but the water level can be in between NDL and CDL, the water surface. And the third one is M3. M3 is again NDL is greater than CDL, but the water line can be in between CDL and the bed level. So there are three slopes, M1, M2, M3. So under channel category mild slope, we have three different water surface profiles, M1, M2, M3. Now what do you want to know actually? So when you are assessing the water surface, how are you going to assess the profile? So when there is a gradually varied flow profile, you need to assess what type of channel it is, whether it falls under M1, M2, M3 or S1, S2, S3, C1, C2, C3, H1, H2, H3 or A1, A2, A3. So that totally there are 15 channel categories. Under this there are two impossible channel categories that I will discuss while during the individual discussions. So there can be 5 into 3, 15 combinations. 15 channel categories are possible. Okay. Out of this, 2 things is not possible. That also I will mention now. Okay. Now here, okay, let me delete all things. Now yes, just see steep slope. Under steep slope,
Ma'am, you are in mute, ma'am.
just a minute. Hold on, 2 minutes. Join back. Okay. So now YC is greater than Y0. There are 3 possible slopes: steep slope 1, steep slope 2, steep slope 3. So in this, when the water surface profile is above CDL, in which CDL is greater than, there are 2 conditions. One is YC should be greater than Y0, and the other one is water surface profile falls in region 1. Region 1 is above CDL, and region 2 is between CDL and NDL. Region 3 is between wet slope and NDL. Okay. So now we have three different slopes. S1 is, you can see this is a case of mild slope profile. This is a case of steep slope profile. So when the critical depth line is higher than normal depth line, then you have steep slope. So when it is actually possible, like so when there is a steep slope is possible only when the critical depth line is greater than normal depth line. Then steep slope water surface profile is possible. But when y0 is greater than yc, mild slope profile is possible. Okay. Now coming to critical slope in which y0 is equal to yc. Both critical depth line and normal depth line are one and the same. Now if both are one and the same, then your y0 is going to be yc. Then you'll be having only 1 and 3. Region 2 is missing because since NDL is same as CDL, region 2 will not be there, only region 1 and 3 will be there. So the slope is called critical slope and your S0 is again positive and it is C1 and C3 are possible. Okay, so C2 is not possible. Similarly, coming to horizontal bed category. So horizontal bed category also you have in the horizontal bed slope, you have only CDL and region 1 is not possible because normal depth line is not possible, only critical depth line is possible. Because horizontal bed there is no flow. If it is horizontal, whether the flow will be there. So normal depth line is absent, only region 2 and 3 is possible. In region 2 and 3, you can have only critical depth line, normal depth line will not be there. And hence you can have only H2 and H3. H1 is not possible. So H1 is not possible, C2 is not possible. These two profiles are not possible. Okay, then last one. So adverse slope, in the adverse slope, your S0 is negative. Your S0 is negative and you have both CDL and normal depth line. So in adverse slope, you have only that CDL, not NDL. Just like your horizontal slope, for adverse slope also there is no NDL, will not be normal depth line because it is very difficult to have adverse slope. The flow should be like this. If this flow is not possible, only by means of pumping or by means of any other criteria only it is possible. So this is normal depth line is not possible in case of adverse slope. The opposite direction flow should be like this. So only critical depth line is possible. So hence your region 1 is not available and hence A1 is not there. Only you will have A2 and A3. So you can have M1, M2, M3. Okay, then you have C1, C3, then you have H2, H3, then you have A2, A3. So you have totally M1, M2, M3, S1, S2, S3 list, right? Okay. So totally how many profiles you have? 3 plus 3, 6. 6 plus 6. There are 12 water surface profiles. Whether this is clear to you? Whether it is clear to you or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Now we will see how these profiles are actually possible in the real time with examples. Now these are the types of our profiles. Now this is the classification which I have shown you now, right? M1, M2, M3, S1, S2, S3, C1, C3, H2, H3, A2, A3. Am I right? So what is the condition for M1? M1 is mild slope, your normal depth line and critical depth line, Y0, YC, and M1 is your water profile is like this. So what do you mean by that? Your Y is greater than Y0, greater than YC. Am I right? Y should be greater than Y0, greater than YC. This is the condition. Am I right? Y should be greater than Y0 and it should be greater than YC in the reverse order. Similarly, M2, your water profile is here. Then M2 should be your Y0 and YC, but Y is in between. So Y0 greater than Y greater than YC. That should be M2. This is M1. This is M3. Suppose your water surface is here, then your M3 should be Y0 greater than YC greater than Y. That should be your M3. This is M2. This is M1. Is it clear? So these are the three different profiles, possible profiles. Similarly, steep slope, the reverse. This should be CDL, this should be NDL, and this should be YC, this should be Y0. Just reverse, isn't it? This should be YC and this should be Y0. Then you have Y greater than YC greater than Y0. So suppose here this is going to be your depth of water surface. Y is greater than YC greater than Y0. Then the S2 profile is here. Then it will be YC greater than Y greater than Y0. Then S3 profile is in between here, in which Y is greater than Y0 greater than YC. Okay, that is going to be your Y3. Now C1 and C3 profile. In case of C1 and C3 profile, so this is going to be bed and your both NDL and CDL are one and the same, Y0 and YC. So region 2 and region 1 and region 3, because since NDL and CDL are the same, 2 region will not be there. And here how it will be? Suppose the water profile can be here or water profile can be here. Suppose the water surface profile is in the region 1, then how will you write? C1 profile. C1 profile is, this is going to be your Y. So your Y is greater than Y0. Definitely, this is what normal depth line. But is equal to YC, because both are equal. And suppose C3 profile, in C3 profile is here. How this is going to be your Y water depth. So Y is less than Y0, which is equal to YC. That is going to be your C3 profile. Am I right? Now, what is the H2 and H3 profile? So H2 and H3 profile is horizontal. In case of horizontal bed, your bed slope S0 is equal to 0. So this could be only possibility of critical depth line. There is no possibility of normal depth line. So you will have only region 2 and region 3. Here the water profile can be, here the water profile can be. There are two possibilities. So here is your Y. Now Y is greater than YC, one condition, region 1, sorry, region 2, this is region 2, and Y is less than YC, that is going to be region 3. So HT and H2 and H3 is possible. Then coming to A2, A3, adverse slope in the opposite direction. So if you take in the opposite direction, then how it will be? Again, same as here, only CDL is possible, no possibility of NDL. So either it could be in the region 2 or region 3. So water surface can be here or water surface can be here. Then A2 and A3 are possible. A2 is Y can be greater than YC, Y can be less than YC. If you see, these two are almost same. H2, H3, A2, A3 is practically very difficult or impossible flows. In the normal conditions, maybe under certain circumstances there is a possibility. We will see what are the different practical situations under which you can come across these. Okay, now I will show you how the various profiles could be. You can see this is what we have discussed now. M1, M2, M3 profile. Just you can see the differentiation. NDL and CDL you can mark with a different line category. Different line type I can mark. So this is a possibility of flow. One M1. Sorry, this where water surface can be like this. Water surface can be like this. Water surface profile can be like this. Okay. Then what are all the examples for these categories? So what are the examples for M1 type profile, M2 type profile, and the M3 type profile? Can you say some examples? Anybody? No? Can I hear any example for M1? Some examples for M1 profile type profile. You will see where these flows will be. Now if you take up M1 profile, see this is M type profile. So here you can see M1 is the subcritical flow condition, and where you can expect this kind of M1 profile is when there is a obstruction to the flow such as weirs, dams, and any kind of control structures and natural features such as bends. So when the flow is in a river or the channel, when you are constructing a dam or reservoir, then you can see the gradual rise in the depth of the channel. Here in the river, this will be the depth. If you see, the depth will be deep. So this gradual rise in the depth. So this type of profile in which the flow behind the dam or the reservoir is the best example for M1 profile, in which NDL is greater, CDL is lesser, and you have almost like a horizontal line. Only there will be a little variation with respect to this. So this is going to be your M1 profile because your Y is greater than y naught greater than yc. This is going to be an example for M1 profile. Then when the M2 profile can occur, M2 profiles occur at a sudden drop in the bed, because you need to have water profile here. Sudden drop in the bed of the channel at a constriction type of transitions. You can see the example here is canal outlet into the pools. So how it will be, you can see here, this is an example for M2 profile. So here you can see M2 profile, in which your normal depth line is like this, CDL is like this. There is a drop in the channel bed slope. There is a mild slope. When the mild slope is suddenly dropped, then what happens? Here somewhere the water level is coming in M1, but when the sudden drop in the bed level of the channel, then what happens? Suddenly the drop pulls into and it falls into the region of 1 and 2. So 1, 2, 3. So it is in between 1 and 2 if it is coming. So this is possible only there is a sudden drop in the bed of the channel. And when the canal is pulled into canal outlet into a pool, suppose there is a canal and this canal is suddenly dropping into a pool of water, then there is a drop in the canal bed. So in that case you can expect M2 profile. This is the best example for M2 profile. Then where you can expect M3 profile, can anybody say? When you can expect M3 profile? So M3 profile is possible when there is a sudden, where a critical stream which enters into the mild slope channel. So here you can see there is a gate, sluice gate. There is a flow here. When you are suddenly releasing the gate, then you have the flow which is normal. This is normal depth line. This is a critical depth line. But the water surface profile is in between 2 and 3. So this is a best example for M3 profile. So M3 type of profile is occurring when the flow is leading from a spillway or a sluice gate to a mild slope, forms a typical example. So the beginning of M3 curve is usually followed by a small stretch of a rapidly varied flow, and the downstream is governed, generally terminated by a hydraulic jump. So if you see the downstream of this, you will be having the hydraulic jump. This is the hydraulic jump. So M3 curve is usually by a small rapid flow and then it comes to a hydraulic jump. That is how it occurs. So if for comparing M1 and M2 profile, comparing M1 and M2, M3 profile is very short. M3 profile is only for a shorter length, not for a longer length. It will be appearing only for the shorter length. So compared to M1 and M2 profile, M3 profile is shorter. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, you understood. So there are 3 conditions: M1, M2, M3. M1 is flow behind the dam or the reservoir. You can take it as M1. And a M2 profile can occur only when there is a change in the bed slope. There is a possibility of occurrence of M2. M3 is when you are suddenly releasing or suddenly opening the sluice gate. It is for a short length and it can have a M3 profile. Then similarly, now we'll pass on to S profile, how the steep profile, steep will be. So in the steep slope, what we have seen, reverse of mild slope. Reverse of mild slope is obviously NDL is lesser and the CDL is greater. This is CDL, this is NDL. Okay. And now this S1 profile is produced when the flow from a steep channel is terminated by a deep pool which is created by an obstruction such as weir or a dam. So at the beginning of the curve, the flow changes from normal depth to subcritical flow. So you can see a hydraulic jump here. You can see a hydraulic jump and then the S1 profile comes. So when the beginning of the curve, you have a hydraulic jump and the flow changes from normal depth to subcritical flow through hydraulic jumper. And the profile then extend downstream with a positive water surface slope to reach the horizontal asymptote. This is going to be the horizontal asymptote to the pool elevation. So this is a horizontal asymptote. So this has been assumed later on. So there is a jump which is created here, maybe due to some any other reason the jump could be created, and then it follows the S1. So this is a example for S1 profile. Then S2 profile, where you can have come across S2 profile. So this is the S2 profile in which the S2 type can occur at the entrance of a steep channel leading from a reservoir. So there is a reservoir here. There could be some reservoir here, and from the reservoir there is a channel is steep. Suppose channel is steep in the sense your normal depth line is lesser, critical depth line is more. And when there is a flow which is coming out from the reservoir in a steep channel, and from a reservoir, and at a break of a grade from mild slope to steep slope, there is a change in the slope from mild to steep. Okay, then you can have this possibility of S2, and this S2 is also for a shorter length. You can see S2 for a shorter length, just like M3. M3 is shorter, S2 is shorter. When the slope is changing from mild to steep slope, there is a possibility of S2. And free flow from the sluice gate with a steep slope, that is also possible. So the free flow from the sluice gate is, what does it mean? So there is a sluice gate, okay, and there is a free flow from the sluice gate, then there is a possibility of S2 profile. With a steep slope on its downstream. In the downstream also you have a steep slope, which means CDL is lesser, NDL is lesser, CDL is greater when the slope is steep. If this type of flow is occurring, then you can have the possibility of S2. And S3 curve also results when the flow exists from steeper to less steeper. So S2 is existing when the slope changes from mild to steep slope, and S3 can occur when the flow exists from steeper slope to less steep. Then there is a possibility of S3, because the profile should come here. Then slope changes from steeper to less steeper. Then there is a possibility of S3 profile. Okay, so this is a possibility of S2, S3 profiles. And what about your steeper to steep slope? Also S3 is possible. Steeper to steep slope also S3 is possible. Then C profiles, C1 and C3 profiles are very rare and highly unstable. There is a possibility of M1, M2, M3. M3 is for short length, and there is a possibility of S1, S2, S3, and S2 is for a short length, isn't it? S2 sometimes, S3 is also for short length only. So you can say both S2, S3 are for short length. These profiles are possible, but C1 and C3 profiles are highly rare and highly unstable. Then what about type H profiles? H profiles is horizontal channel. H profile is nothing but your horizontal channel. When you can have horizontal channel, which is considered as the lower limit, which is reached by a mild slope when the bed is becoming flatter. So when it is possible to have a flatter bed, when there is a sudden drop and when there is a sluice gate. So H2 and H3 profiles are similar to H2 and H3 profiles, which may be similar to A2 and M2 and M3. But H2 will have a horizontal asymptote. So how it will be actually? I'll show you. So this is H2 and H3 profiles. We can see there is this is going to be the horizontal asymptote. So the region 2, region 3, and there is a sluice gate, but bed is horizontal, there is a sudden drop of a bed. Then you can have this H2 profile. So H2 profile is possible with a sudden hydraulic jump and there is a sudden drop in the bed. Then there is a possibility of H2 profile. And H3 profile also same as M3 profile. So H2 and H3 are similar to M2 and M3 profiles. Okay, so that both will have a horizontal asymptote. Similarly, A profiles, in A profiles is adverse profile. Adverse profile is slope which is opposite to negative slope, in which you can see like this type A profiles. Adverse slopes or rather rare, you can say it is rare, and A2, A3 are similar to H2, H3. Okay, so whatever we have discussed here is A2, A3 profiles are similar to H2, H3 profiles, and again these are going to be very short length. So this is the adverse slope CDL, there will not be any NDL. You can see the profile here. When there is an adverse slope and the flow will be like this. This is the possibility of A2 profiles. Now how we are going to analyze the flow profile. Next topic is analysis of flow profile. So why do we want to analyze the flow profile? So you wanted to know what kind of information from this analysis. So what type of gradually varied flow occur in that particular stretch or the particular stretch we want to analyze, and we wanted to say which channel category the corresponding flow is. That is nothing but your analysis of flow profile. Okay. So for that, what you wanted to know actually? So you wanted to know where is the break in the grade. Either the channel break is from mild channel to milder channel, or steep to mild, or mild to steep, or steeper to less steeper. So these break in the grade need to be known. Then only you can find out whether CDL and NDL is higher, whether CDL is higher or NDL is higher. So break in the grade must be known to find out the surface profile. So for the normal depth for the mild slope is lower than that of the milder slope Y2, because Y2 acts as a control. Because similar to your weir or a spillway, M1 backwater curve is produced in a mild slope. So I can say that M1 is produced in a backwater curve. Suppose you have a structure and M1 is the possible curve of backwater curve in a, again when there is a any flow obstruction due to dam or the reservoir. And if you take M2 profile, so if you take M2, Y2 acts as the similar to the weir or the spillway, and suppose if you take the combination of slopes which is resulting from the GVF profiles, some situation where there can be more than one possible profile. Suppose if there is a jump, I will show you some example. This particular curve you can see. when there is a break or change in the gradient. Grade the presence nothing but your gradient. You please see these profiles. So actually, if you see the first one, the first category, you have the M1 profile. Okay, M1 profile in which this is NDL, Y0, this is CDL, YC, and the profile is somewhere here, M1. Okay, this is going to be Y01, Y01. When this Y01 is changing the slope from mild to milder, so you can see the variation. This is somewhat steep and this is less steep than this. So mild to milder. Mild to milder when it is changing, then you have the variation that M1 is changing, maybe it may come to M2. M1 may change to M2 or M3 when there is a change in the slope from mild to milder. And similarly, if you take a category of steep to steeper, suppose here you use your CDL, YC, and this is your Y0. Okay. Now, when there is a steep to steeper slope, then there is a possibility of S1 to S2. S1 to S2. You can see the profile here. So now it is steep to steeper. And similarly, milder to mild. When there is a slope which is changing milder to mild, then how the profile is changing? Your M2 is changing into M1. So milder slope to mild slope. So here is your M2 actually. This is in between milder. In the milder slope, your profile is M2. But when it is changing to mild, your profile becomes M1. Okay. And similarly, when there is a slope change from steeper to steep, then you have S3. Steeper to steep, you have S2 to S3. So these are the possible combination. When there is a change in the break in the gradient, then there is a possibility of GVF profiles at a break in the grades in all types. Okay. So what we need to do, how to analyze or how to combine this, how to analyze the problem of various channel section. So what are the steps involved in this? So just we will see the steps involved in this. How to analyze the problem of many channel sections and controls. How we are going to analyze? So first step is draw the longitudinal section of the system. You need to draw the longitudinal section, LS. Say suppose for 2 kilometers I need to analyze. For 12 kilometers I need to analyze. For 15 kilometers I need to analyze. Draw the longitudinal section of the entire system. That is the first category. First step. Then second step is calculate the CDL and NDL of various reaches. You can divide this into number of reaches, say 1, 2, 3, and mark what is the CDL and NDL of various reaches. Whether it is greater or lesser, whether NDL is greater or lesser, or both are one and the same, we don't know. So mark the NDL and CDL line of various reaches. Then mark the controls, both imposed as well as natural control. Sometimes the controls can be either due to artificial, like sluice opening, something like that, either or sluices or shutters. And sometimes it can be due to natural. Natural is change in the slope, channel bed slope, by means of naturals. So those control points you need to mark where the controls are. So mark the control points wherever you have controls over the entire channel reach. Then identify the possible profiling. Then each individual reach, identify what are the possible profiles, whether the profile is M1 here, whether the profile is M2 here, again S2 here, S1 here, S3 here. Likewise, you just identify the possible profiles. These are the various steps involved in the combination of how to analyze the combination of various profiles. Okay, and then we will see problems related to this. So how to identify the possible GVF profile for different by giving the break in the gradient or for giving the values. So problems we need to look into it. So I think I will stop here. We will continue with the problems tomorrow's class. Shall we continue tomorrow? Yeah. I am not hearing anything from you people.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I'm
Yes,
stopping
ma'am.
here. We will continue the problems in the tomorrow's class. Tomorrow afternoon also similarly we have 4:30 to 5:31 class, and I will complete this, and then we'll pass on to gradually varied flow by using direct other profile computation, direct integration, how to compute the profile. We'll go to some problems related to that. Okay. Okay, ba. Then thank you. We'll see tomorrow 4:30.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes.